it's the end of the year and it's time to start manifesting. It's time to start getting clear on the things that we want and seeing how we can align better and see how we can attract it and have those synchronicities so we could start manifesting what we want. But there's a specific twist, I guess, that I want to talk about because with manifesting, because it's a video that I watched recently and it's something I've been thinking about for a very long time, but it kind of like confirmed or kind of like made me think about again about that whole thing that I've been thinking about. Whoa, let me start the episode. Let me start the episode. Welcome to another episode of Let Us Go. Today we have another solo episode, and I'm really excited to talk about manifesting because, you know, there's like a lot of like things of like with manifesting where it's like, oh, the book The Secret or whatnot. Like, it's not just thinking. It's thinking, aligning, and action. All of that. So, with that being said, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share. Especially do it as a birthday gift. It's my birthday month this month of December, and don't worry, I accept delayed gifts. So if you're watching this a week, 2-3 weeks later, or 2025, 2027, 2029, and whatever year, I will still accept that subscribe, comment, like, share, and like. And if you're listening on Spotify, you can also follow there and comment there and follow on Apple Podcasts as well. With that being said, let's start the episode. So, manifesting is there's like a lot of things out there with like manifesting, a lot of techniques, a lot of resources. There's like the beginning part of manifestation when you get into it is like you gotta change your thoughts, and like think about it every single time. There's visualization, and then there's like aligning more like emotionally, like thinking about it, visualizing, connecting with it as if it's already there and whatnot. But there's like one thing that I've been, like how I mentioned in the beginning, that there's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot where like when we manifest things, there's a lot of people who say that you gotta align with like the emotion or like with like a high frequency and whatnot. And a video that I watched recently, he was talking about like you don't really need to align. Like that's kind of like should you? Yes, but is it necessary? No. And this is kind of like I agree, but there's a but, and pretty much it's like to manifest the things that you want, you don't really have to be in a high frequency, because he gives the example of this artist. Now I don't remember her name, but there's this artist where she had a lot of success. Like she had a lot of success, and through her music, she talks about these things, and pretty much like no matter like what was going on, she knew that she was gonna have success. Like she knew she was gonna be successful. I think it's a she. I'm not really sure, but she knew she was gonna be successful, and the album that blew them up, that made them like super popular and made their success during that period when they were writing their album, they were going through like the worst time because I believe she was dating somebody from the either band or like they worked together and whatnot with the music. So there was a lot of chaos there because like let's say she will be writing a song, like they will have to like sing it together and whatnot, and it was like a diss to that person, and then like that person will also write a song, it will be diss to that person and whatnot. At least that's from what I understood. And so like you will think, oh, like how did they manifest that success with this album if there was so much bad energy there? And it's because she knew that she was gonna be successful. Like she was doing the work, she was doing the thing, and she was being consistent with it no matter the situation that was going on. And so this is when you see that like your energy or like vibrating in love or like having that frequency of love. I'm not saying at all that it's not necessary, but it's not like you could still achieve your things, or you could still manifest that thing or the thing that you want. You could still get that thing, and not always have to vibrar or vibrate or be in the vibration or frequency of love, of like these really high frequencies of like positivity. Sorry. And it's one, it could be like a relief, like a relief of your shoulders type of thing, because it allows you to be okay with like where you are at now, and it allows you to kind of like, okay, like if they could do it, I could do it too. I just gotta be consistent with the thing. And so like that's the key thing though. You gotta be consistent with the thing. No matter if you're going through a bad situation, no matter if you're going through a good situation, no matter if you've been in a funk for like a week or 2 weeks or a month, and you still gotta do the thing during those times. Or at least one thing every single, like it doesn't matter how small, how big, like you gotta be consistent with it. And like that's kind of like the key. But again, you don't really have to be in this level of frequency or to feel good about yourself specifically, just knowing that you're gonna get there. And where I go with this but is that, like, yeah, you could do like, yeah, it's not needed or not completely, but if you work on yourself, like if you heal like certain things, like certain traumas, certain patterns, like ancestry work or whatnot, like if you do all these inner work while like working on the thing that you want to do, like you're gonna be healing yourself. Two, you're gonna be getting confidence in yourself. You're gonna be setting boundaries. You're gonna like, it's, I feel like the difference between the thing that you'll get the thing either way, but you obviously want to go with the second choice of like working on yourself, doing the inner work, because the feeling is gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be completely different, because like let's say during that time where they were doing the album, they were drinking, they were doing drugs, they were doing whatever they were doing, but they weren't like good with themselves. So the process in itself was not the best compared to like imagine. I mean, it also could have been completely different in the album, but like let's just say hypothetically, like they still got success. Like imagine doing it out of like a piece of like where you're like, maybe it's not great because it's not always gonna be great during that whole process. However, there is gonna be that like, okay, like I believe in myself. There's gonna be resources of like meditation, asking for guidance, um, just listening to high frequency music and whatnot that allows you to reconnect with yourself. And that's the key thing: reconnecting with yourself and knowing who you are, like not forgetting who you are and who you're meant to be. And I think like that's very key. Like I definitely agree with the guy where like, yeah, it's not necessary, because if you read the book, Think Big, what's the Think Big? No, The Magic of Thinking Big. If you read that book, like in itself, it's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like a manifesting book. And when you read that whole book, it doesn't talk anything about like frequencies or like energy, or maybe energy, but definitely definitely not this like the spiritual path, like the spiritual, he definitely does not explain it in a spiritual way. He talks more of like, you just have to have confidence in yourself. You have to know, like pretty much have clarity, like know that you're gonna get it, visualize, like how do you talk, that's a key thing too. How do you talk to yourself about the things that you want about yourself? So like all of that influences, but it's not in a spiritual sense, there's no healing, there's none of that. And you see that there's like people who, like you see it like all the time with like rich people or like YouTubers who are really rich and like spoiled, and like they're just doing like the craziest things or the dumbest things, and it's like, why do they have success? Like they're like, there's, what's the value from that? and and the reason like they have success is because they believe in themselves, like they themselves are also delusional in that. And because in the beginning they were delusional, that they really believed that they were capable of having the success through the thing that they were doing, they got it, like they got it. And then it makes you think, like if they were able to get it, and they're not doing like, in like, let's say like worst case scenario, like they're doing like the stupid shit ever, and they still got success. It's like, why can't you? The person who's doing the work, the person who is being intentional, who knows what they want to do, who's following their dreams, and breaking breaking all these patterns and all these traumas and whatnot, healing and healing and healing, and this ongoing going process. So it makes you like, hopefully this makes you question the the idea of like it's not possible, or you need to resonate with this type of frequency in order to get the things that you want. Like, not necessarily. I definitely do recommend it because I think it's gonna be a way enjoyable process than like doing the thing and like doing it with like the wrong intentions, or not having the right resources when you need them. But definitely read the book The Magic of Thinking Big, and put it together with like spiritual resources and aligning with like yourself, the inner child, do the inner child work and whatnot, because that's definitely going to help with like manifestation. Again, it's just going to help with the process, and once you get the thing, you're going to enjoy it so much more, so much more. At least I hope. I haven't completely, like, there's like certain things that I've manifested, but because like I could give the example of like the Texas trip that I did in the beginning of this year. I After I did that trip, I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like during that trip, I had amazing experiences. I had amazing experiences, and I was like, holy crap, like manifestation within that I wasn't really expecting, but happened, like miracles pretty much. But after the trip, I was like, is this it? Like, now what? And that's because I wasn't really working like in myself, or like really healing, like really, like you could have an understanding and knowledge, but if you don't do the work, it's still it's a completely different game. And like now that I've been doing the thing, I definitely enjoy the things more, like hitting 100 subscribers. Like, thank you so much. Like, I've enjoyed that more. Like, I don't know, more than the Texas trip, but definitely I was more present during that time. And I really acknowledge it. And I was like, Andrea, I'm proud of you. Like, I am proud of you. And it wasn't until recently where I was like, Andrea, I'm proud of you for doing that Texas trip, because you broke a lot of patterns. You did the first, like, you were one of the first, or the first in your family that you know of, that did a road trip by themselves, as a female, as a woman, and whatnot. So like that was a whole achievement in itself, and I was like crazy. And it wasn't until more recently where I acknowledged that. Compared to the 100 subscribers, like, oh shit, like, Andrea, you got this, like, you did this, like, what the heck? Celebrate, like, yeah, you like do a dance or what? Like, it was something I was able to celebrate at the moment, and that was really cool. And so that's pretty much it. Like, know that you can manifest. Like, you don't have to be in the best place, but just doing the inner work is definitely gonna help a lot. And also, I apologize if I'm looking over here because I have like the little screen, and I could just see that the light is going lower and lower because the sun is setting. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, apologies if I'm like looking over there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, know that you're worth it. Like, know that you can manifest amazing things, and that we are gonna be manifesting a lot of things in 2025, and we're gonna do it through intention. Like, even when we have those funds, even when we have like those lows, like we're still gonna be consistent with the thing. And even if we do take some breaks, like we're still gonna be consistent with the thing, um, and we're gonna get the things that we want for sure. So with that being said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate every single one of you who listens, who likes, who subscribes, who comments, who shares. I really appreciate. I know I have to do a lot of work with like, the comments. I still never reply, but I'm doing my best, and I appreciate it nonetheless. And again, don't forget to give me that birthday gift of like subscribing, liking, share, commenting, following on Spotify, commenting on Spotify, and all that, because I really, really appreciate it. And even if it's a delayed gift, I still appreciate it nonetheless. And yeah, with that being said, have an amazing, beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.